August 6th, 2024, which means in exactly 1 month, it'll be the 10-year anniversary of my first album's release, the self-titled Apathy demo. Originally debuting on September 6th of 2014, it contained 7 songs written over the course of about 18 months. Along with my second album, Insomnia, these were the first complete songs I ever wrote. Of course, I knew very little about recording, producing, or really anything pertaining to making music sound good. In addition, I never touched a drum kit, and I wrote all of my bass lines on the guitar. I had a single USB condenser mic and $50 headphones. It really was a bare bones bedroom black metal operation. Now, in the past 10 years, I've learned a few things here and there, having released 14 albums, probably around 100 songs. I got a bass. I learned a lot about rhythms and also changed the way I sampled my drum tracks. Most important of all, I seriously upgraded my recording equipment, the most critical acquisition being this microphone right here. So leading up to the 10-year anniversary of Apathy, I decided it was appropriate to give these old songs a fair shot and redo them, bring them to life and give them a chance to be heard the way that I always imagined that they would sound. Of course, this is not the first time I've reworked old music. In 2022, I released Insomnia for the 7th anniversary of that album. For Apathy, I've spent more or less the past 18 months since releasing Eternal Light, touching up every song, some a little more drastic than others. Let's start, by example, with the very first track, Apathy. In spite of the fact that it's the self-titled song from the self-titled album and the song from which I adopted the band's name, I absolutely hate the song. There's a long story as to why it sucks, but it's pretty much one of the weakest songs that I've ever wrote. It also just happened to be the first song that fully came together, and it had a great title, hence the position as track 1. So that 40-second bit you heard at the beginning of this video leading straight into Wanderer, that's the new version of the song Apathy. It's essentially the intro to this album. But don't worry, all of the remaining songs are recognizable from their original versions. Almost all the guitar parts are completely identical. This time they're double tracked, and instead of just my RR3, I'm using my Reverend Airwave 12-string and my new Jackson Kelly with the Black Winter pickups for rhythms. The RR3 remains the lead guitar. Only one riff from one song has been modified, but the leads and even the guitar solos have not been touched. They're played exactly the same way they're originally done on the demo. On vocals, nothing has changed. I've always stood by the quality of my lyrics, even on the first album, so I've only swapped out maybe a couple words here or there, a line or two at most songs, but at least the way I do the vocals and the spoken parts, not much has changed on that end either. On the other hand, the drums and bass have been significantly reworked. Some songs have completely different intros and certain beats were rewritten. A lot more fills and accents were added to improve rhythms in a way I didn't really understand when I originally wrote these songs. I'd say about 25% of the drums have been changed. And finally, on the bass, I decided to scrap those tracks completely and rewrite them from scratch. Turns out when you're actually playing a bass, especially using fingers like I do instead of a pick like on the guitar, the way you see, hear, and feel the instrument is vastly different. There are some parts where I ended up rewriting exactly what the old bass lines were because they worked out the best, but I'd say more than 80% of the bass parts are actually brand new. That's the only real major change on this album. But that is just about it. This is a simple album full of simple songs. All I've done is make them actually listenable. And since all of the music has already existed in one form, or it's not like there are any surprises, so for the rest of this video, I'm going to preview roughly 30-second bits from each of the remaining tracks. So here we go, the trailer for the next upcoming album to be released September 6, 2024. Apathy, Reborn.
They say that darkness feels the sun, but it
But of course, we're not actually done. The title of this release, as I said before, is Apathy, Reborn. If you know a little bit about this project's history, my third album is called Rebirth, and my fifth album is called Return. 18 months was just way too much time to redo the 7 songs from Apathy. So I kept myself busy and actually picked an additional 7 songs, 3 from Rebirth and 4 from Return, to rework and record as well. While the Apathy portion is at the point that it's ready to release, the Reborn portion is not. So if you want to find out what the remaining songs would be, you're just gonna have to wait until the album drops on September 6th.